And I am live. You'll be swell. You'll be great. Gonna have the whole world on a plate. Starting here, starting now. Honey, everything's coming up roses. And we still have no one here. It's okay. To copy the StreamYard link to the clipboard. Anyway, we have no one here. So, I don't know. I don't do these Friday live streams every Friday. Basically, I try to do something every Friday. I don't even say it's a rotating format because rotating implies a structure that isn't there. It's a varying format. Sometimes it's, one time I did a vlog. I think most recently I did a short. And sometimes I do spontaneous lives. Hey, Samantha Stewart. Um, so here we are. So I don't know how many people are here because apparently, okay, now it looks like there are 2 people here. I don't know. I can't keep track. I don't know anything. But my StreamYard link is there. So that if anybody wants to come up, we can have fun together. Anyway, yeah, I just do these, as I was saying, even if I use the phrase rotating format to describe Fridays, okay, I need to still this table. Even if I use the phrase rotating Fridays to describe what I do on Fridays, it would imply more structure than there is because basically I make it up as I go along. And today, because I had nothing prepared to upload, I just decided to go live for about an hour. At 5 o'clock, we're all going to go over and see Granny D because she starts at 5 o'clock. Put what in the chat? Hey, Doris, glad to see you. Anyway, okay, what did I say? So yeah, I just decided to go live and just make it up as I go along. This is a sort of a semi-spontaneous live in the sense that I decided to do it this morning. Hey, Daniel, glad to see you. Oh, okay. Ooh, that sounds like a very big project, Doris. I really want to see pictures of that when it's done. Okay, Samantha, apparently there's something, you're not connected with your devices, so I can't bring you up. Because there's, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It says device is not connected. It says you will need to connect your mic and cam before I can add you. That's, when you get that figured out, that'll be fine. Anyway, so how is everybody? The standard ice-breaking questions. What's on your hook? Hey, Nani May, glad to see you. Standard ice-breaking questions. What's on your hook? What's in your cup? And because it's this time of day, what's for dinner? We have a refrigerator full of leftovers. And they're going to be pretty darn delicious whenever it is that we consume some of them. Anyway, let's see. Oh, okay. So, Nani May, let me just post the StreamYard link again. Ooh, Chinese food. What? Hey, Blind Stitches. Daniel, what did you order for Chinese food? Oh, I gotta stop this thing. Okay, there we go. What is iMovie telling me now? Yeah, I know. Anyway, I was editing a movie earlier and trying to upload it and or download it or I don't know what else. I've been having a lot of disk storage issues. Oh, Nanime, you say you're this old lady is pretty darn tired too. Okay. Oh, Doris, I'm in coastal North Carolina. I have not been paying attention to the weather reports, so I am blissfully ignorant about anything that is going on. Um, in about a month, I'll be traveling up to upstate New York for a men's fiber retreat, and I have spoken at length about that because honestly, people have really been very kind to me in terms of monetary support to help me do these fiber retreats where I can network, I can learn, and I can become a better content provider. And I'll have fun too, but I don't expect you to pay for my fun. But I won't stop you either. Anyway, hey, gig driver. Don't believe I've seen you before, but you're certainly welcome here. Marsha Lee. Who's Marsha Lee? Doris. I adore Glimmerglass. I have not been there in several years, and I miss it terribly. I used to go every summer for like a week, and I would get like free tickets to all the productions because for some reason people liked my opera blog. Oh, that's lovely. Gig Driver says that on Carrie's live stream they dropped my link. That's lovely. Yeah, I used to go to Glimmerglass every summer. I loved it. I saw some amazing productions, some amazing young singers who have gained bigger careers now, and I only wish I had the funds to go back. Okay. Nani May is about to burn her bras. Um. Oh, Blind Stitches. Your name is Marshall. I don't know. I can't keep these things straight. I'm lucky if I can remember, a screen name from one time to the next. I have a mind like a sieve, a really cute sieve. And, one time recently I said I had a mind like a sieve, and someone in the chat room said, "What's a sieve?" Um, Giga Driver asked why for what. Oh, let's see. Looks like there's a private chat. Oh, okay. So, Samantha Stewart is saying that she cannot fix her microphone for StreamYard, which is sad because it would have been fun. Um, Only way. Oh, excuse me. Um, I used to have a really, really good time at Glimmerglass. I loved it. I love that area of New York. I would love to live in that area of New York if I had a four-wheel drive vehicle. I would buy a four-wheel drive vehicle if I did live in that area of New York. Um, so, so we have a few people here. Daniel, if you're still here, I was raving about your yarns, as I often do, to I think this interview goes live on Monday with Gary Boston, um, where he's talking about doing um, knit-alongs and crochet-alongs and pattern kits in order, because he does an awful lot for AIDS fundraising. He does the AIDS rides. Hey, Gina, glad to see you. Um, he does an awful lot for the AIDS rides and other ways of AIDS fundraising. So he's been talking about doing a knit along and a crochet along. And so I was raving about your yarns and referring him to Jill Fiberfloozy as a more accessible way of procuring your yarns in order to create kits. But anyway, it's all just in the talk phase, so I don't know what's going on there. Samantha, I cannot help you because I don't know anything about your system. In StreamYard, there are settings that you can find. But beyond that, I cannot help you. And in fact, I don't know what you're seeing, but if you see in StreamYard, if you go to the StreamYard link, if you see at the bottom a row of icons and there's a cam/mic icon under what looks like the kind of wheel that is often associated with settings, that would be a good place to start. Otherwise, without knowing your system, I cannot help you. Oh, thank you, Blind Stitches. Gig Driver, I think you're referring to Samantha's camera and microphone issues. Yeah. I'm sure it's a permission issue. Or I will say it sounds like it might be a permission issue. So I can't help you from this end. I wish I could, but I don't know enough about what you have on your side to be able to help you. Anyway, yeah, there's got to be a settings issue going on there, because I'm sure you can control it somehow, but I have no idea how to tell you to do that. Anyway, so it has been a great week for me. I have recorded several Monday Men interviews, and I really, really, really love doing those. I meet a lot of really wonderful people, and I hope that I create ongoing friendships with them. And I also learn a lot. And I hope that people who watch me, who do not know those people whom I interview, will go and, you know, find out about those people. Hey, AJ. I also hope that those people um, from their viewership um, will learn about me as well. So it's a win-win situation. Um, so I'm glad to see you, AJ. How is everything? I'm gonna put the StreamYard link again in case you want to come up, AJ. Um, let's see. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. So, anyway. Oh, yay!
Hello.
Hey there, AJ. So glad
What's
to
going
see
on?
you. Not hearing you. Oh, I
Really?
probably would if I put my earbuds in. But
Can you
okay.
hear me now?
Okay, now I can hear you. Yes. Yeah, because I just turn off my speaker when I'm trying to live stream because of any potential echo, and also the speaker. My MacBook is a little bit long in the tooth, and the
Yeah.
speaker is one of the features that is not quite as good as it once was. So most often I use my earbuds because I get good sound through the earbuds.
Yeah.
Hey Frenchie, glad to see you. So what you doing there, AJ?
Hang on, I'll show you. Caking.
Okay. Oh, you're caking? Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been at school this week, so been on days.
Oh, so it's all been training for new skills and things?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, considering what you do, I think that's a very good thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Divergent, glad to see you. I hope I haven't missed anybody who's come into the chat because I often do that. Yeah, I think that's cool. AJ, I just yesterday I did an interview that I'll be putting on my Monday Minute in a couple of weeks with another military veteran. He had not heard of you, but he thought you sounded cool. He does amigurumi primarily. His Instagram is called Dude Yarn. I don't know if you've ever seen him before. You have?
No, I have
But
not. But
no,
the,
I thought I saw a smile of recognition there.
the name is awesome.
It is pretty cool. Yeah. He's he's a really nice guy. I had a good time talking to him. And of course his name is David, so of course he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Um and So anyway, yeah, I was talking with him about how many people I've met who are either current military or vets who have found any kind of craft, whether it's yarn or anything else, to be either healing or centering, or as some people I know would call it, prayerful.
Yeah.
And he totally agreed. So he's a former Marine.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah. Now I don't know about how you Navy guys feel about Marines,
Well, then
but
the
yeah, I know
Navy,
there's a little bit of rivalry there.
the Marines are run by the Navy. They're
There you go.
separate but same.
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, I was just saying that I've had a good week in terms of my Monday Men interviews. I've got several in the can and scheduled, and my Patreon and YouTube members will be able to see them early. That's a hint, people. Um, and been working on other things. I've been researching my Sunday readings. I know that I don't get the viewership for the Sunday readings that I wish I did, but I'm gonna keep doing it because I do it for me. Because I love the written word. I love poetry. I mean, people have suggested that I should do audiobooks, but there are so many people doing audiobooks on YouTube. I don't know where I could find my niche there because there are lots of people doing my favorite literature already. But I'd be willing to give it a try. I do love to do the poetry though. It's lots of fun. And I find I learn a lot of new stuff when I start researching stuff, especially things that I can do that is in the public domain. Looks like you have guests there, AJ.
Yeah, I do.
If you have to leave us to pay attention to your guests, I will understand.
It's all good.
Oh, Gina, do not fear. I'm not going to stop my Sunday readings under any circumstances. Yeah. And in fact, recently I did one that was like a Shakespeare sonnet. And someone commented that she had never understood Shakespeare. And even though she enjoyed my reading, she still didn't understand Shakespeare. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
It's a challenge very often, the language that you use, and I think that it is a shortcoming in our education system that we do not expose students to literature from a wide range of ages and viewpoints and things, because that's how you learn about other people. And I mean, I can remember even when I was still doing music, being in rehearsals where I would be like a paid singer in a community chorus group where they would need a few ringers in every section. And there would be people who didn't understand the archaic English, and it would be a totally foreign concept to them that people did not always speak English the way that they do today. And I'm not going to get started on this because I could go on for hours. But, oh, Frenchie's daughter studied Shakespeare for one semester in high school, and she loved it. Hey, Proverbs. Glad to see you. Yeah, Shakespeare. I mean, even if you have to use the Cliff Notes version, Shakespeare is totally worth your while. All of the old masters are totally worth your while, even if you have to use the Cliff Notes version. I mean, I love like a 19th century turn of a phrase. But then I've always been that way. I've always loved that kind of thing. I've always loved reading and literature and stuff. I recognize that not everyone is like me, the poor fools. But it's it's a highly individual thing, and there are things that other people like that I don't, and that's okay too. I'm talking too much.
Hey, Jeannie.
Did I hear a small child in the background?
He's not over at your house?
Always.
Oh yeah. I honestly, I used to work with people, uh, um, mostly guys. The only time I would ever see them smile is when I would ask about their kids. Hey, bitch and stitches. Oh my goodness, I have not seen you in ages. I'm really glad to see you.
How's it going?
Kate, do you feel like coming up on the panel? I'll post the StreamYard link again. Anyway, so I've just been running my mouth. So what's new and exciting aside from this training that you've been doing all week, AJ?
Yeah, I'm working on the Mama Snuggie.
Oh yeah? Did you do the bot along?
Yeah, the sweater.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you did that, and it really turned out well.
Yeah.
Now tell me again what kind of yarn you used.
For most of the sleeves, it was Mandela Ombre.
Mm-hmm.
Then for the rest of it,
no, I was just going to say that's pretty much acrylic, right?
yeah. And for the rest of it, it's regular acrylic. I think part of it was Caron 1 pound and Big Twist, Joanne's brand.
I would say that Big Twist is my favorite store brand.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kate, I think that we would be glad to see you, no matter what you think of how you appear right now, dust bunnies and all. What else do we have going on here? Hey, Veronica, so glad to see you.
Hey,
Hi. So, I should modify the angle a little bit there.
Okay.
So, so what else is going on? So actually, let's see. What was I going to talk about? Okay, I don't do this enough. I always do it at the end, but I should do it at the beginning too. I always have to thank everybody who subscribes, everybody who is a member either through YouTube or through Patreon. I have gotten some wonderful gifts. I've gotten some wonderful shout outs, and all I can say is thank you for all of that. Some of the shout outs that I've had recently.
Hey.
If you know Needles at the Ready, a really wonderful YouTube channel. It's these two guys. They're primarily knitting, but they're all about the yarn, and there's a little bit of crocheting. But anyway, I did a great interview with them. I think it might have been the last one that was posted publicly. I don't recall. But anyway, they gave me a shout out. I got a shout out from Gary from Urban Yarns because he made a pattern of mine and posted the results. I got a shout out from, let's see. Oh, Kate, you got your first happy mail this week? And it made you cry. Oh, how lovely.
Awesome.
I got another lovely shout out from um, um, the Sherry Show from Lion Brand, the wonderful lady who actually organized the Hat Not Hate project. She acknowledged my box. She showed my postcard. She acknowledged my 85 hats on one of her broadcasts or live streams. I thought that was lovely. I've gotten some wonderful gifts this week, but I've also gotten in trouble because of misattributing some. So everybody who gave me gifts knows that I'm grateful. Let's see what else is going on. So let's see. Oh, Veronica, what's for dinner? And what time should I be there? Um, let's see. Well, Kate, tell us more about this happy mail that made you cry. Unless you're reserving it all for a post of your own.
V, I'm working on Mama Snuggie.
Oh, yeah. Actually, what I'm working on is a new wrap design. I have this fabulous crochet stitch book that Jill Fiberfloozy sent me as a gift. And I'm always finding new ideas. I will find a stitch or a stitch sequence in that book, and I'll go, ooh, I could do something with that. And that's what I'm doing. So what I have is not really enough to show right now. Because you know how sometimes when you're working through a Lion Brand mandala cake, and you have sort of the ugliest colors outside, and then the prettier colors are inside. I haven't gotten to the pretty colors yet, but I think I'm almost there. But what else have I got? I've got a couple of finished objects on Instagram. I just posted quite recently a new pattern on Ravelry. Wow! A subscriber hand-dyed yarn for you. I think that's wonderful. Well, I would say I've never had that, but um, Daniel, when he was still growing and had not achieved superstar status, he created a colorway based on my suggestions that was called Ginger Bear, and I have shown it many, many times.
I wonder who you'd be talking about there, David.
Well, Daniel from Popeye, of course. But yeah, he created this colorway based on my suggestions, and it's perfectly beautiful. I wish I had it right here at hand so that I could show you. And it's called Ginger Bear, and I could only afford to buy 2 skeins of it, and the rest of it sold out very quickly because it's beautiful yarn. Because he does beautiful work. I haven't decided yet what to do with it. But that's the closest I've come to having someone. Hey, Michelle. That's the closest I've had to to having someone dye yarn for me specifically. Actually, and I think that other people did love it, but he hasn't recreated it since then. He hasn't. And it's funny, every time he does a shop update, it sells out within days. And he only does those shop updates once a month. So, what you doing there, AJ?
Trying not to close myself out of the StreamYard.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. Anyway, so let's see. Oh. Okay, Michelle, 2 hours last time. What does that mean for Michelle's mosaics? Oh, do you mean 2 hours to sell out? That would not surprise me a bit because everybody loves his yarns. As well they should because they're perfectly beautiful. Um, so, let's see. Exactly. Yeah, I finally figured out that's what you meant, Michelle. Yeah, for Daniel to sell out. Yeah. And he does them. Um, I was worried all along that, as business picked up, as fame increased, that he would become overwhelmed with it all. And we see that it's hard to keep up, but he has firm boundaries in place in the form of doing just a monthly update once a month. And he does have some standing volume orders. He supplies Fiber Floozy, who is in effect. If you do not know Fiber Floozy, let me see if I can still trigger her. Fiber Floozy is a U.S. distributor, Haydenine, U.S. distributor of Daniel's yarns. The only U.S. distributor of Daniel's yarns that I know of. Apparently he's left us because he hasn't been speaking to us in the comments. That's okay. He was here briefly earlier, which is okay. I often just visit live streams, but don't stay the whole time. But that's okay. I'm here the whole time with you until 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, we all go over to Granny D. And then we say it's a bearded yarn raid or something like that. Yeah. So what else is going on? Hey, Julie. Julie, did you see the Instagram picture that I posted of the wrap that I made with that 6-weight yarn that you sent me? I think it's wonderful, and it's a totally, totally simple pattern. And I will publish it very soon. Veronica has a question for me. Hit me.
Hey, Julie.
Let's see. It's beautiful. Oh gosh, my favorite yarn. If I had to pick one, I would say Lion Brand Mandala. It works so perfectly with everything that I do with the shawls and the wraps. And lately, I'm all about the shawls and the wraps. Okay, Kate, let me see if this shortcut is still valid that shows his website. Um, there you go. Kate, Nightbot just showed you how to get in touch with Daniel. No, but Lion Brand Mandala, any variation of the Lion Brand Mandala is great for me. There are other self-striping cake yarns, but I just have less experience with them than I do with the Lion Brand Mandala. And of course, Lion Brand as a brand, as a manufacturer, is my favorite. Are you listening, Lion Brand? I'm telling you that you're my favorite. So Kate, I hope that's useful to you. Kate, I would love to talk offline sometime just to catch up and schmooze. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. Oh, excuse me. Berg. So one more time, I'm going to post the StreamYard link if anybody wants to come up. Anybody I already know, that is.
Hey,
Katrina, glad to see you. Okay. So anyway, what other? I was going to talk about my whips and finished projects, but they're all on the other side of the room, and I don't feel like getting up and walking away to get them. But if you follow my Instagram, which is not surprisingly called Bearded Yarn Dudes, you will see a lot of pictures. I have a picture of the bulky wrap that I made with some of the yarn that Julie sent me. And also, hey Frenchie.
Hello.
Hey, Frenchie.
Also some of my other things, and some pictures that some testers have sent to me of my patterns. And I published my semicircle Alicia pattern finally after much wailing and gnashing of teeth this week. I'm going to publish that bulky wrap this week because I don't think it requires an awful lot of testing. I have to say, I am very thankful to Fiber Floozy, who is not in the room. She sent me this book, Indispensable Stitch Collection for Crocheters. And I have found so many different, well, just look at everything I have, all these markers, book markers I have, Post-it notes for pages with where I had ideas. And so that wrap with the super bulky yarn that the stitch came from this book. Something I'm working on now came from this book. My Mind Like a Sieve wrap came from that book. Not that I'm going to give Jill any kind of royalty for any patterns that I sell, and I don't sell that many really. Okay, Veronica asks, what size hook do I like to use?
Ivy.
The answer to that has to be it depends. It really depends upon the pattern that I'm doing, the yarn that I'm using, and the intent that I have in terms of texture. Most of my patterns, I recommend using a hook that is at least a millimeter larger than what is recommended on the yarn label, because that increases the drapey effect. And some of the stitches that I do can be a little dense. So I don't have a favorite hook size. Although the design I'm working on now, which I need to write up, I'm using one of my favorite hooks, which is a furled hook in the size of I, or 5.5, and it's perfect for the yarn because I'm using a Lion Brand Mandala, which is a size 3 or DK weight. A J would also work for this pattern, for this stitch with this yarn. But generally speaking, I like to go for a hook size that is a little larger than what is recommended for the yarn. That is specifically for the patterns that I do, the patterns that I create. I certainly wouldn't say that it's universal. And that's enough about that. So what else is going on?
I got my frills hook that I wasn't supposed to get till September.
Oh yeah?
I just got it today.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I sent off a package this morning that was, I don't know if you guys were here. I think it was on Tuesday's live stream when this channel I follow, Mr. H and Friends, who is a British guy who is who does reaction videos to American videos, mostly about American traits, particularly regional or state-specific traits for different parts of America. He's fascinated by America, and I really enjoy watching his videos. So anyway, we have struck up a correspondence. And a couple of weeks ago, some of you might recall, there was one day in particular when, I suppose for me, it just hit me so hard how much sadness we had in our community with so much incredible bad news. But fortunately, earlier that day, I had seen his live stream where he announced that he and his wife were having a baby, their very first. And so I talked about that on the live stream. And everybody was very happy to have something happy to talk about. And hey, Butterfly Dreams, I'm so glad you're here.
David V wants to know if you're a knife or a pencil holder.
Knife. 100% knife. I have spoken to people who have switched from one to another, or who could do both. Hey, Sandy, Hook, I'm glad to see you.
I try to do the pencil, and
I honestly, I don't see the point if the grip that you're working, that you're using works for you.
yeah, exactly. But you know, it's good for the brain.
My brain doesn't need that much stimulation.
I can't yarn over. That's my problem. I have trouble yarning over.
Okay.
Because I can't seem to be able to move my wrist the way it needs to go get the yarn.
Okay. Now, just watching you right now in the past few seconds, I would not call what you're using a knife grip.
That's not the knife grip. That's the pencil grip.
That's what I would call it.
That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to do it, and it's hard.
So why are you changing?
Well, and I'm just trying it, but it
Yeah.
doesn't last long.
I don't understand why people want to change from something that works for them already. I mean, I can understand how they might imagine there would be an advantage to something else, but more often than not, in my experience at least, the supposed
But
advantage is overrated
it's
or exaggerated.
I don't know if there's an advantage from one to the other, but it's the same thing for the pencil holders. They can't get the knife grip.
And
That's
why should they try?
exactly.
If pencil works for them, more power to them.
Is
Do you
there's these
know,
things, there's a
it's,
pencil, and
the important thing is doing your work with a maximum of comfort and creating good work. I mean, I have spoken often, I've made the comparison because I went to music school. I've made the comparison with string players. They play all day long with their bows going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. They have to learn how to do that with the absolute minimum of tension or interference. Otherwise, they face rather dire consequences. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's the same with crocheters, those of us, especially those of us who crochet all the time. So if what we're doing causes us tension, then it's not going to be helpful in the end. And I mean, there's only so far you can go in trying to learn something new before determining whether in the end it's going to be a benefit or not.
back when I was, when I was knitting, I tried like I was doing it the normal way, like the Eastern way,
Mm-hmm.
and then I learned about the Continental way, and that changed my life.
Oh, so that made things easier for you.
Oh my, so much easier.
Well, then that's an example of finding a new technique that works for you. But if there are so many stories, like even outside of the yarn community, whether it's some kind of skill, any kind of skill, where you hear other people say that this other way of approaching a skill is so much better than what you're doing now. And people go to great lengths to try to make that alternative way work. And in the end, it doesn't, and they do themselves more harm than good in the
Yeah,
end.
exactly.
So, um, yeah, I mean, and there are people who can alternate from one grip to another, and that's fine too. I'm not really passionate about grip. I know what works for me. I know it doesn't work for everybody, and that's okay. And
Exactly.
I think that's a really good way to look at life in general.
You see the difference now that I'm going back to the knife grip.
Yeah. So, have I missed anybody in the chat? I hope I haven't. So, by the way, in 5 minutes, we're all going over to see Granny D. If there's anybody in the room who can post Granny D's link, that would be most helpful. I keep getting warnings that my disk is almost full. It's these video files. They take so much space. So and I'm sort of a hoarder, especially with computer files. I'm not as organized as I wish I were with computer files, and I'm afraid to let go of things. Like I was surfing through, trying to just free up some disk space, and I'm going, who needs email archives from 2007? But I had them. I got rid of them, but I had them, and of course, tomorrow something will come up, and I'll go, geez, I wish I had that document from 2007. Actually, it won't happen, but that's my fear. So what I need is a new computer, really, because I've had this one for a number of years. But computers don't grow on trees. Oh, thank you, Veronica, for sharing Granny D's link. So, then again, if I had a new computer, how would I transfer everything I have over onto the other computer? And all of my passwords and everything. Most of my passwords are saved in the browser.
Well, if you're using Chrome, they'll transfer automatically.
I wouldn't broadcast that.
Sorry?
Huh?
I wouldn't broadcast that fact.
Well, if I had anything worth stealing, I probably wouldn't, but believe you me, I don't.
Well, it's your Google. It's your Google info. So once you log into Google, everything.
Actually, one of the channels I've been watching recently, I don't know why, but recently I've been looking at a lot of travel channels. So I think there might be some travels in the future. But one of them had a sponsored advert for a particular password manager that I might look into to see if it's cost effective. And then there are also the VPN issues too. Computers can be difficult and at the same time amazing. And a lot of us have found a lot of freedom through computers and the internet. Anyway, it is, according to my computer, it's 4:58. So we should all prepare to go over and see Granny D. And Veronica just a few seconds ago posted the link to go see Granny D. So she's on at 5 every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So
and then 3 on Saturday and Sunday.
3 on Saturday and Sunday, that's true. Even though we don't have too many people right here in the chat, we almost have more on the panel than we do in the chat. But anyway, let's all go over to Granny D. I'm just going to click end right now. And I hope I'll see you all there. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye.
See you there, Granny.